This next one is a fun one. We're going to go on a field trip. We're going to get outside of our sacred space, outside of our homes, or wherever it is that you are watching this video in. We are going to get outside of our comfort zones too, but it's going to be fun, I promise you. Take a drive with the Holy Spirit. This spiritual exercise entails totally trusting the Holy Spirit to guide you in where you go, where you journey. In life, we need, and this is your desire, or you wouldn't be taking this boot camp, we need to let the Holy Spirit guide us in all of our decisions, in all of our journey through life. To fine-tune that, to become stronger in that. You're going to do it with your actual car. You're going to get into your car and drive with the Holy Spirit telling you when to turn left, when to turn right, and when to go straight. I first learned to do this one day many years ago. There was a lot of bad stuff going on in my life, and I needed to get away from it all. So I just got into the car and I said, I don't know where I'm going. I have no particular destination to go to, but I need to go. And so I just asked the Holy Spirit, hey, tell me where to go. I think I would like to find a park where I could get out and just walk through nature, because nature is restorative. But Holy Spirit, you guide me, because I don't know where a park is near to my house that isn't filled with, children playing on swings and sliding boards and that sort of thing. So I got into my car and I headed out and drove down the road, and every time I came to an intersection, I said, Holy Spirit and guardian angel, help me to hear what the Holy Spirit is saying. Holy Spirit, should I go straight? Should I turn left? Should I turn right? And by the way, the time to do this is not while you're at the intersection and the people behind you are waiting for you to make up your mind. It's as you're approaching. I said, Holy Spirit, which way? And whatever came into my mind, whatever popped into my mind, I didn't stop and say, I wonder if that's just my imagination. I was just saying, Lord, I'm counting on you to help me here. I'm counting on you to guide me. So whatever popped into my mind, I did. And I just wandered through. It was like I turned left here, I turned right here, I went straight there. And lo and behold, I found myself on a road I'd never been on before, and there was a park on it. And it was a beautiful park with a river running through it. And I had a really good time there. But more than that, this was not something I had prayed for. This was not something that I was expecting. I wasn't looking for it. But as I was sitting there on a bench, looking around me at the river and the houses on the other side of the river, and there was, the park was in a corner between where a canal connects with the river. And across the canal, there was a house for sale. A small, little, mobile home house. And I was musing, and I thought, gee, wouldn't it be nice to be able to stay, in that house as like a retreat house, looking at the river all the time. And then I began to think, wouldn't it be nice to get into a more peaceful environment permanently? And, have a house where I'm surrounded by nature. And instead of a whole bunch of houses that were close together. Our kids at that point had grown up and gone off to college. So we were at the time of life where we could consider, moving to a place that it didn't matter how close we were to the school and that sort of thing. So I hadn't thought about this before. But as I sat there musing and I looked at that house for sale, I thought, let me go look it up. Let me go look it up on the website, realtor.com, and find out more about it. And I looked at it and said, the price is more than I'd want to spend, but the house is not, it's too small to meet our needs. But we certainly could rent it out and use it sometimes for us. And, it could be an investment property. And so, I was just brainstorming. I mean, when you're brainstorming, anything goes. The neat thing about brainstorming is when you're relying on the Holy Spirit, you just let your creative mind, creativity is a gift from God. He created you with creativity. It's a part of His nature. He is the creator, right? So you just let the creativity, just come, and the brainstorming just happen, and then you let it sit, and you wait, and you see what percolates up and keeps coming back. It keeps coming back with a certain kind of energy to it, a certain kind of I've got to do something with this, a certain kind of joy, maybe. Anyways, when I got home, I told my husband Ralph about it, and we both let the idea percolate. We prayed, is there anything, Lord, to this? Should we pursue this? And then we just let it percolate, and we both liked the idea very much of at least investigating this house. So we went and took a look at it. And we ended up not buying that, but what it did was it led us on a journey that we had never planned to go on. Originally, it never occurred to us. We said, well, let's see what else is available. That's a house out in nature. Let's explore what is it that we would really like. Would we like to live by a river? Would we like to live in the woods? Would we like to live around a lot of, in a neighborhood where there's a lot of people? Do we want to live close to shopping? What is it that we like? What would minister to us? What would help us reduce stresses by the very environment that we live in? And, we went and we looked at this kind of house and that kind of house. We went to open houses. We went to model houses of new houses. We went to mobile home centers and took a look at those designs, and we just were exploring everything. We looked at empty land and imagined building on it, and we just explored every single option. We took many, many months to do it. Actually, it turned into several years, because while we were looking, the housing market just got more expensive, and then it all crashed, and everything was way too expensive, and people were going into foreclosure, and it wasn't the time to buy just yet. Well, after things in society and in our with the realty world started to finally even out, at that time we had a good idea, because it was like a dream, or it was more than a dream. It was like a hobby that we were doing with some of our weekends, and just go exploring where we might like to live. But after doing this for a while, we had a pretty good idea of what we both liked and what we didn't like and what we wanted to aim for. And so we decided that living on the river would be nice, but too expensive. Living in the woods is very, very peaceful and less expensive. And lo and behold, a piece of property became available that a couple years prior in our explorations, we had looked at a house that, of course, we didn't buy, but connected to this house was a piece of property for sale, an empty lot. And it was way too expensive. We didn't even walk the property. The realtor said, and down that little dirt drive there is a property that these people are also trying to sell separately. And we go, okay, that's nice. And a couple years later, the price of this property dropped. It had gone into foreclosure, and the bank wanted to get rid of it cheap. and we bought it very inexpensively. And this is where we built the house that we're living in now. And it all started because that one day I said, I need to get out of here. I need to go for a drive. I don't know where to go. The Holy Spirit guide me. So, you never know where the Holy Spirit's going to lead you when you ask Him to direct your path, to direct your steps, or in the car to direct your steering wheel. So go do this, because this is an exercise in trusting the Holy Spirit. It's an exercise in learning how to tune in and really hear the Holy Spirit and learn how He works with your imagination. Although when you're doing it, don't think much about it. Just do it. Whatever pops in your mind, just do it. And yeah, there's be some mistakes that you do, but so what? And you just go. And you look for what surprise does God want to show you? What nice place do you end up at? And it doesn't have to be a park like mine was. It could be a store that has what you've been looking for a long time and hadn't found yet. It could be somebody that you haven't visited for a while and you end up knocking on their door on it without them knowing that you're coming, and lo and behold, they're home and you have a wonderful conversation. It could be anything. God's imagination is far greater than ours. It could be anything. So don't prejudge where He's leading you. Although, as I did, I said, I'd kind of like to find a park. You can set out with a goal in mind, but it's okay if that's not where you end up, but you end up somewhere else. Keep driving until you find something that makes you say, this is what the Holy Spirit wanted to show me. Maybe it's even something as simple as a new way to go to church. A different route, which turns out to be prettier. Or it could be something as simple as, a place to visit later with your family. That would be either a park or an amusement place, entertainment place or something. But it has to be something that makes you go, oh, I'm glad I found out about that. I'm glad I reached this place. And keep driving until you reach that point. Because when you ask the Holy Spirit to do this exercise with you, I guarantee you will reach that place. Ask for your guardian angel's help in hearing the Holy Spirit. Ask the Holy Spirit to anoint your imagination before you set out, so that what pops into your mind is more likely to be anointed. It's a fun exercise. Be sure to share in the comments what you ended up doing, what you ended up finding. Okay, go. God bless you.